Hello, namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host Nagesh Deshpande, and today we are going to talk about Jira Advanced Roadmap, and our guest speaker is Dinah Williams. Let's welcome Dinah. Hi, Dinah.
Hi Nagesh, thank you for the warm welcome, and
How are you doing?
I'm happy to be a part of the Agile Exploration Hub once again. I'm doing well, Nagesh. Thanks. How about you? How was your
Um,
day?
yeah, doing good. Enjoying my weekend. It was a long weekend. So to all my viewers, it's a Holi in India. So happy Holi to everyone. Hope you had a good one. And yeah, so recording on weekends. Okay, so Dinah was a speaker with us previously also. I will add her video. You can check it in the info box. And also, the topic that we have selected today is very interesting. Some favorite topic between me and Diana that we have worked together is Jira Advanced Roadmap, and that's what we are going to discuss today. So, shall we start, Diana?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to my viewers, we worked Diana and me worked together around two years, and we extensively worked on Jira. And one of the things that we commonly learn from each other is Jira Advanced Roadmap. So, to my viewers, Diana, what is exactly a Jira Advanced Roadmap? Or I guess it is being renamed now as a plans, right?
True. So, before going into or jumping directly to the topic, I would just take a moment where we can understand the importance of a project. So, we know that for a project, the key aspect is transparency and visibility. When we have these two factors, I think it helps us to align our plans. It helps the people who are actually working on the project. It creates a great visibility for them to know about what the milestone could be, where the project is heading towards. So these are the few aspects or the key areas in any of our projects. Then, if you see a plan, it could be a Gantt chart, if, for example, in the project
Hmm.
management, where we know that it depicts a clear picture of a roadmap, how your project is and where the project is now, and where it's going to be at a later point of time. So, plan itself, in itself, it explains what it exactly means. So, Jira has given us this feature or a functionality, which is termed as a plan, and this is an add-in functionality that is available in the Jira. So this feature or the functionality helps us to in it's embedded functionality where you can
Hmm.
on a very long term, what is your plan? It can what is the plan for a project can be really depicted. It can be visible, and it can be shown in terms of the long initiatives, the epics, and the stories that you're going to work on. So it gives a high level overview to your stakeholders. It also helps the team to deep dive into your user stories. So it's a wholesome, I could say, what your project looks like, and it will give you a greater visibility in terms of where your team is heading. uh, in addition to this, I also would like to tell here one more thing, that Jira has the basic plans as well as the advanced plans. So where we know
Okay.
that we have been terming it as advanced roadmap earlier, but now yes, it's been known as plans. But there are two versions to it. One is a basic version, basic roadmap, you can say. Basic roadmap has quite limited features or quite limited functionalities, and it is kind of you can use it for a single team. So if a single team wants to take a look at how their project is, if they want to put it on the epic level and then story level, probably that's the best option for it. And the second option could be the advanced roadmap, the plans, which is very useful, and this is a premium service, premium feature that will give you um, all the details in terms of your dependency management, in terms of your release planning, in terms of your capacity planning, and in terms of a high level view of your project initiatives, epics, and the stories. So this is the wholesome view of what your advanced roadmap is.
Okay. So, in a nutshell, it's a add-on feature from Jira into your application where you can have a project plan, a roadmap where you can do the mapping from right from your feature to your story to task level, map the dependencies, and track the progress. Even if I'm not wrong, even the due dates and you know
Milestones, release
milestones
plans.
also, yeah, release milestones can be also tracked there, right?
Yeah.
It's a very
Yep.
handy and very useful tool, and I must say all the people who are all the agilists who are using Jira must explore this, must learn this. And that's what the
Yeah.
purpose of
This
this
is
podcast today.
this is an important feature where we can see that not only the scrum masters or the team, but it is also useful for the product teams where they
Product
want to
teams, yes.
see where they want to visualize their long term plan. Because initiatives, we know it goes on for a year or longer than that, and
Right.
then we know that the epics could still be like 3 months or a month longer spanning, and we know that the stories are like sprint wise. We consider the story sprint wise. So how does all of these look like when we put it into a map or a roadmap, and how what is the targeted end date for reaching our milestone? So this is basically very helpful for the product as well.
Product team. Yeah, I can definitely see the product team can certainly use it, and see their mappings, see the dependent epic from maybe from a different team or maybe even different programs. And also they can track whether if there are any stories which is not yet estimated, everything in the single view. Then so all these things are a great features of advanced roadmap or plans now.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
true.
so now moving ahead, what is the first thing someone should know before using this Jira Advanced Roadmap? I know Jira, I know I know mm, my daily Scrum board or Kanban board or even dashboards. To certain extent, I have good enough expertise in GQLs, advanced search, and all that. But what if I don't know about what should I know before I move into Jira Advanced Roadmap?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is that the purpose of creating a roadmap should be quite clear. Whenever anyone for that sake, it could be a developer or a scrum master, product owner, whoever wants to create a particular plan in Jira, it is very obvious that they need to have a clear set of plan ahead of
Mm,
them. And once they have it clear, the team formation, I could say that if it's a plan only for a single team, or it's going to be multiple teams that are going to be a part of that particular project. So these are the key things that we need to know. And once you define if it's a multi team, so I could take an example of a multi team. So a multi team where we'll have n number of teams, we can say cross teams to them, and then we have all these teams functioning in one plan. So
mm,
we're going to that's the first thing, that your roadmap should be quite clear, what you're going to build and for which teams you're going to build. So once you have that handy with you, that idea in mind, then the next step would be how you can execute this plan or
mm,
build a roadmap. So for that, there are a number of steps that a person should know while you're building a plan. So first is, how do you create a plan? So while creating a plan, it's very simple. It's as that simple as you create a dashboard on Jira. So while creating a plan in the advanced roadmap, uh, it's all about it all relates to your board and the configurations that you have on the board. So once you go to the plans, you have a create option there. You can choose which kind of template you need there. So the issues that you need to add. So it could be in you can configure a board, you can configure a project, or you can configure a issue filters. So
filters,
out of
yeah.
this, yeah. So out of this, like if you want to, if it's going to be a multi, like I said, cross team. So in terms of a cross team, the option for filters would be helpful because there is a lot of Jiras that will be coming up from each teams, and
Mm,
filter option could be easy to maintain, and because there is a bulk of Jiras that will come up on a
yes.
project just to keep it more light. So there are three options there. So they can add on the issue sources there. Then they can customize the issue hierarchy. What's the hierarchy that they want to look at? It's the initiative, epic, and the stories, and then the subtask. Is that the hierarchy that they need to identify clearly? Then I think managing the teams and their capacity is also one of the features in the roadmap. So that area also can be touch base while they are actually working along with this roadmaps. And then we know that managing the dependencies, the release. releases, and then planning for the different scenarios. So this is a wholesome, I could say. While we start working on the advanced roadmap, these are the bare minimum things that we need to know or keep in mind while we start on the roadmaps.
Great, good. Yeah, so good point, added. JQL will help you a lot if you build a query,
Yeah.
because later on you can, repurpose that query or rewrite that query. You can do the enhancement on that query. That will help you to build a better roadmap, instead of using teams, because sometimes it may happen that teams are not being added to ticket, and then you have to go to individual ticket. A lot of things are there. But now, we work together. You helped me many times on working on these dashboards and Jira Advanced Roadmap. But what what you will first look or go and check, if someone is struggling with this, they are not able to.
Accesses,
Okay.
permissions, or the accesses, I think, is the important thing, because
Yes,
at once, if you want to access a plan, definitely you need to have a access to
that
the
level of
plans.
access. Right. Right.
Yes. So
Yeah.
if you miss on that, I don't think so. You'll keep on struggling. Then, then
Yes. Yes.
that's
Yes.
that's a problem, and which
I.
we have
Yeah. Yeah.
always seen, like how teams have been suffered for not getting the
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
accesses.
Yeah, so we remember that, this is throughout many organizations. It's a standard practice that you may
Yes.
not have access to uh, Jira projects where the initiatives are being configured.
True.
You will be able
True.
to only see. So now, you may not be able to get that data, as you don't have access. So that's where you have to check your configurations, if you have access or not. If you
Yeah.
do not
Rightly
have,
pointed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure. So this is one of the things that can go wrong: access and, the limited permissions. And uh, so how can a beginner, like some of our users may have not used it, how can a beginner make their roadmap clue, looks clean, clear, and useful? How can you make it more impactful?
Yeah. So I think if a beginner wants to adopt the roadmap, or want to make his roadmap quite visible for his team, I think the first thing is that if the requirement is quite clear, the
Hmm.
50% of his work is done there, and then requirement as in what needs to get built, or what is the development work that has come in this project. So that is the idea all behind it. So if that particular aspect is clear, I think building a plan, because it's just a tool, right? You have to
Hmm.
um you need to make the tool work for you. So what they can do is they can either put a walkthrough plan for the team members, or whosoever is going to take a look at the plans. So the first thing is that you create a walkthrough for them, make people know about this tool. So once they know the tool, they become quite user friendly, and they could do a couple of things. I mean, try a couple of things on their own, and then you reduce the dependency there once you have a walkthrough given to people. That's the first thing. I think second one is setting up the right guidelines, because when you work with multiple teams, the issue what I've seen is that there could be team dependencies, and when the teams are dependent on each other, it's very important that their incoming and outgoing dependencies get tracked rightly.
Hmm.
But if in case they don't have the right set of dependencies linked, I think it's going to be a major issue for the um, your epic, or your impacting your initial plan. So I
Hmm.
think one thing is dependency aspect, it should be rightly linked. Second is when there are cross teams working, I think the second important thing is that the components and the labels that are getting used, because imagine if there is just one initiative that is running throughout the year, and then we have two different teams who have a piece of user stories that are getting linked to one of the epics. So what happens here is, if the components are not rightly tagged in the user story, there is a chance that that piece of work might be missed out from that epic. So it's very important
Absolutely.
to tag common labels and the components, because labels and components are custom fields, right? So it becomes very difficult to if you miss on any of the wordings for those, I think it's going to mess up your whole plan. And I think the most important thing is the Jira hygiene. If you have a good Jira hygiene in place, I don't think we will be messing up with any of the on the roadmap. So I think these are the basic things. A beginner starts with it. He has a walkthrough. He makes people. He educates the people. He sets the guidelines, and then there is a kind of the hierarchies that what he want to put in. So these all factors should be um, uh, focused on.
Yeah, good that you brought topic of Jira hygiene. So to my audience, we are bringing one episode on Jira hygiene. So rightly mentioned, like components or labels are very important. Equally, if your release version, your release
Yes, that
ID,
is
yes,
one. Yeah,
release
yeah,
ID. So my experience is that if you miss the release ID,
true.
you won't be able to track down your epics and your stories. So you make sure that your release ID has been correctly mapped to
Yes,
your issue. And
yes, yes. The fixed version column
fixed
is
version, yeah,
important.
it's
Is
very
important here.
important.
Yes,
Yeah, so that's because we are making this release plan for only one release. And if you
yes,
are and this release fixed version is belong to only one specific release. If you are adding multiple release to your ticket or
true.
your issue, Jira will not show it correctly.
Right,
It will, yeah, so it will mess up your roadmap. So don't make that
true.
mistake. Make sure that you are fixed version, your labels, your components, everything is
Yeah,
correctly mapped. Okay.
true.
So yeah, another thing is like moving ahead, Dana. You know, uh, how do you keep this roadmap flexible when plan changes? Because see, agile is all about frequent changes, and there are situations where we have to drop the plan, we have to add something. So how do you make sure that this Jira roadmap stays a live document when such plan changes happens?
Right. So I think change is um we have always seen like agile itself talks about change, right? And definitely if there is a change in your requirement or if there is a change in your timeline, there are there is an inbuilt functionality where in the advanced roadmap itself that will help you to change or that will help you to modify your plans as the
Okay.
requirement changes. So in terms of, if I have to give one example, so we have ranked one of the epic, say on the number 2 for this year, and then we say that okay, after a period of 3 months, after the end of first quarter, we're saying that this particular epic has been deprioritized and it's gone onto a rank of 6. So something that is changed, right? And then so what has been on the top priority has been now adjusted on rank 2, and then this has come on rank 6. So so this is how you could modify it there itself, because roadmaps is kind of a it's a sandbox environment where developer, so sandbox environment as in you can do everything what you need to do as a testing in the testing mode, and then it's just going to, you're going to save the changes and it's going to be a prod live kind of. So it's just kind of your VMs for if the developers are using a VM machine where they have to make the changes in the testing environment for the applications, and then they move into the prod like environment. So this is just a sandbox where you can go and actually change whatever changes are getting whatever changes are coming in your way. If the timelines are changed, there is a scope where we can where your stories will get aligned to a sprint, and then sprints once are aligned, they will show up on as the target end start and end date, and this is where your epic will be directly linked to your stories. So so that the change, once you change the story, it's going to change your epic and it's going to show up in your plan. So this is how flexible I could say the roadmaps are, where you can just go ahead and make those changes, and then it shows up while you save all these changes. So
Great.
yeah.
Good. And then can you share some tricks and tips to to make sure that or to make it very nice to work with or very easy to work with Jira Advanced Roadmap?
Right. So I think the first trick I would say I covered in the earlier question itself, which is a sandbox environment where we can actually play around, or you can work around with n number of changes, and all those changes you so it happens, right? We make some changes, and if it's not saved, we are in a trouble. But in roadmap, this is nothing going to harm you. Instead, you're going to save the changes. I mean, you'll still see the changes until and unless you don't discard the changes. All the
Yes.
things are
Or you save or
reviewed and
discard.
saved for you. So
Yes, yes.
I think the first trick is that you go on creating your issues. So if you're in a, I'll just give an example. While you are in a PI planning meeting, and when we know that the um, a QBR is getting planned, a whole QBR is getting planned, and where you have to do a number of changes there and there, because there is a review, there is a draft, and then there is a review, and there is again changes to the reviews. So there are a couple of things that happens during the QBR planning meeting. So imagine you just have one single source of truth, which is your plans, the roadmap. The roadmap will give you the Jiras. You can go ahead and just like a stand in the sandbox, you go on creating your Jiras, like you create your epic, you have your Jiras in place, and then you just want to modify them as and when the changes to your plan happen. So you just can imagine how simple it is while you're in the PI planning meeting, and it's just done for you. I've seen people struggling with this because they keep on maintaining a Confluence document, then they keep on maintaining an Excel sheet, and then they want to do again a rework. So it's all going to solve all these problems. Okay, so we have seen Nagesh people doing this,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think when we started using this 2 years back, two
Mm.
and a half years back,
Yes, yes,
we have
yes.
actually found out how easy this tool is, how helpful
Absolutely.
this tool is, and in a PI planning, I think it's a great, uh, would say it does great miracles for you. So I I I insist people to use and see the benefits of a uh, advanced roadmap when they are in the PI planning meeting. It's really going to be that easy, and your capacity plan also has been considered there, because for PI planning we know capacity and your work are they're going hand in hand. So all the things are leveraged there in this plans, and then
Advanced.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, true.
Okay,
So
I'll
I
I'll
think yeah.
quickly, yeah, I'll quickly make it more easier to the audience. So, see, you are in a backlog refinement meeting, and you have 10 issues that you have to work upon. In some of the issue, you have to change the due date, you have to change story points, you have to change the priority. Okay, now if you have to do these changes on 10 things at one go, it's very difficult. You have to go individually or check it in the story or epic and then update. If you open Jira Advanced Roadmap, you will find out all those 10 tickets. You will change it one by one. Take the approval from, or take not approval is the wrong word. Take the agreement from entire team saying that, okay, this is the changes that we have agreed upon. Is if everyone goes, take a vote and everyone agreed on that. Once you review the change and save the changes, all the issues, all the Jira ticket stories will be updated in one go. You need not to do bulk update, you need not to do any JQL, you need not to go and find individual ticket and update it. So that's the beauty of Jira Advanced Roadmap. So
True,
guys,
true, Nagesh.
I hope I have made it very easy for you guys.
Yeah,
So
you have told it in a very simple terms, Nagesh, in terms of your daily I mean, the
they
backlog
and
refinements,
yes,
the
yes.
ceremonies that we do. Yeah, that is
Yeah, so I just
great
gave
point.
basic example. You can do much more advanced stuff with this Jira Advanced Roadmap. Yeah, and if someone is new, there are. I believe I work with many Scrum Master who haven't even touched or you haven't heard about Jira Advanced Roadmap. What is the best way to start with it?
I think the early adopters or the somebody who have not used it, for them maybe it could be the easiest way could to get started would be the simple top level planning templates that are available in the roadmap. They can just simply put those and start using it. And there's a lot of things that could be done. But yeah, for someone who is really new to it, maybe they can just take the handy templates that are available, and then they can work on it. I could also recommend that the basic versions is something that they can try with simple teams. So once they start with the smaller team, they get the gist of how one team on the roadmap would look like, and then similarly, a practice of adopting multiple teams or getting multiple teams slowly, gradually. They can also take a view or look at that side. So start with the basics, I think, and get into the advance.
Right. So, if you, to my audience, thanks Diana for first of all, and then if to my audience, if you really want to learn about Jira Advanced Roadmap, I will provide contact details, information of Diana in the description box. You can connect with her. You can ping me. So I also can help you. Diana will also help you. But the few things that I will add to what Diana said is go to Atlassian University. There are few. videos available, courses available. There are on YouTube, there are other videos made by Atlassian University. Explore that. uh, Create a small POC, present it to your management, see that this is what we have built. Believe me, this will make your all Excel or your Confluence page obsolete. They will go out of the way, because Jira advanced roadmap can be share across with lot of people. It will be visible, it will have a single source of truth. If someone makes changes into your Jira, it will be immediately reflected onto Jira advanced roadmap. That's not the same case with Confluence and Excel. If someone made changes in Jira, Excel, you have to manually do it, even in the Confluence. So that's the beauty of Jira advanced roadmap. Tana, you
Yeah.
want to add anything?
Yeah, I think we did touch base on the release aspect, but I think release milestones is a very important aspect on the roadmap in terms of because some projects they are quite fixed date projects,
Right.
and when you have a fixed date to your project, I think it's it gives an option to create a release with a fixed date.
Right.
And then on the roadmap, when you are tracking your Jiras, something that will show you your plan is off track. Okay, how does that look on the roadmap is uh for example, you have committed a date of say 16th of March, today's date. Your project first milestone is on the 16th. However, you could see some Jiras that are going beyond 16.
60.
So some sprints, one more sprint ahead, like your work is getting tagged. So what will happen? Your plan will show you a red dot on the release because it's showing your, and when you hover on that red dot, it will show that your plan is off track by
Off track.
uh,
Hmm.
2 weeks. Okay, so that is the great thing about the roadmap. It's a very user friendly tool. I could recommend, like, we go explore people who have already started using it. I think it's a better opportunity to explore a few things. There is a cloud version also that is
Hmm.
available for with the advanced functionalities on the roadmap. Definitely, we should explore that, and I think it's a quite useful tool in terms of managing dependencies, cross teams, and releases capacity. Everything is available there in one single
One single screen.
view. Yeah.
Okay, so
So
key takeaways from today's discussion: use Jira Advanced Roadmap, use Jira Advanced Roadmap, and use Jira Advanced. Show it to your team. Bring lot of transparency. So the key, the the one of the key pillar of Scrum is transparency. So Jira Advanced Roadmap will give you that transparency. Entire team can view it. Your leadership can view it. Even if the different departments, they can view it. So pretty much good enough, Dana. Thanks
yeah,
for joining our episode once
yeah.
again.
Thanks,
And it
Nagesh, for
was
inviting me.
it was always a great discussion. To my viewers, if you like this discussion, please subscribe to my channel. Please like the video, add a comment your questions as well. I don't see much questions coming through the comments. Add the comments, and then see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.